Hey guys, welcome back to Gypsy Rose Papery. Dolly here, and today I am doing a flip through of my latest journal, which, if you couldn't tell by the title, is Hocus Pocus inspired. And so this is for Joanna. Hi Joanna. And Miss Joanna loves this movie pretty much like me. So of course, when she asked me if this was something that I would be willing to do, I said of course. And please ignore my cat screaming for attention in the background. So I'll try to make this quick because it's very fat. Very, very fat. It is a 2¼ inch spine. And the cover is completely hand painted. And underneath, if you can see, it's kind of like that raised Nik the Booksmith-ish type cover. Which, okay, so this cover was extremely difficult to make. It almost bested me. And it literally took me like 3 days to work on this cover. One, because of course, being new to this type of cover, I decided to go with the hardest die cut there could possibly be, which is this painted lady right here, this Victorian house. So a lot of the detail came through, but it was very hard to kind of show up. So I hand detailed this entire house. I made my own kind of pigment paint using pigment shadow. And so I colored, this is Sarah, Mary, and Winnie. And the letters are all raised. You can hear that. And then I colored the cover black. And then I stamped little stars and kind of colored it all around different colors. I hope the light is catching that because I'm losing the light. But basically, it's like them flying around and kind of hocus-pocusing all around the cover. So, Joanna wanted raised ledges, so it's got 3 raised ledges, and it's a 2¾ inch spine, if I haven't said that. She wanted a chain closure, and I did a little chain closure with an eye, because on the spell book in the Hocus Pocus movie, it's got that big eye right there. So let's go on to the front, and I hope I can catch this giant thing in frame because it's very big. So first is human skin pockets, like the book in her spell book, Winnie's spell book in the movie, and I kind of roughly stitched to make it look like I stitched different pieces of human skin. Somebody thought that was gross. I think it's kind of funny. Hopefully, Joanna, you think this is funny. The first thing that I included in here was an invitation to the Rockin' Town Hall Halloween party. And I used an actual address of the town hall in Salem. And a lot of the ephemera in here I had to make myself because there wasn't a lot online. I did find some pictures, and we'll go through that, and I found maybe a couple things, but other than that, not much. So first page, there are some pocket pages in here, but the first page, I use a lot of greens, purples, and kind of burgundy-ish reds to represent the sisters. And this is a digi from Calico Collage, and it's like a witch flyer, kind of, I guess, announcing that there are witches among us. Some stamps, and all the stamping in here, if you go back 2 videos, I did a video on my Halloween stamp haul, and I used pretty much all of them in here. So if you like any of the stamps I used in here, that is where I got them. Go to that video, and you can go to the description, and I've listed all the places I got them at. I used some leaves because the movie takes place in fall. I use a lot of shabby sewing and textile, so I was really inspired. One of my favorite parts of that movie is their dresses, and so this is meant to be like little pieces of their dresses after, spoiler alert, the end when they explode. And so I went around and I, in my deluded mind, picked up pieces of their dresses. Here is one of the ephemeras that I created, and it's the Black Cat Curse. And I literally watched the movie and stopped it and wrote down everything and then retyped it. And this is like a old, I forget the name of the artist. It's really like old advertisement, like a French artist. I forget his name. I'm really bad with names. And some more beautiful trim. I used a lot of sari silk in here. More stamping. And this is going to be funny. This is, well, maybe it'll be funny, or maybe you won't get it, but I'll explain it. It's, when they're about to get hanged, they go, thrice eye of Mercury and spit upon the 12 tables. So I put the 3 times 4 because 3 times 4 is 12. So, and it's a vintage, multiplication card from the 60s. Here I just included some music paper which I printed, and it's the song Witchcraft, which is the first song in the scene where they come into the town hall, and then there's that guy singing Witchcraft. And I included a lot of my cutouts from my stamp haul video. So if she wanted to journal in here, she can kind of use these if she'd like, or she can use them elsewhere. Totally up to her. Some more stamping. And in here, Joanna, you're welcome. I got you Max Dennison's phone number. You can thank me later. So that I thought was funny because that's one of my favorite scenes of the movie. This is just a little piece of ephemera back onto coffee dyed index card. And this is by Tsunami Rose. And there's a little paper clip with the charm. And it's got a little spider on there. And I think I got 6 of these paper clip charms. This is another one, and this is a flip out. And in here I included the life potion recipe, and so that's the potion they use at the beginning of the movie. And these gorgeous images I got from Mrs. Coggs from the Beautiful Witches set. And I kind of just included it there because she's mixing up a potion there. But yes, this is the potion to suck the souls out of the children. And more Tsunami. Oh no, this is not Tsunami Rose. This I got off of Pinterest. And this is to, there wasn't a lot I could use to represent Allison. This is to represent Allison because her party was the schmoozy, fancy, schmancy masquerade ball. And this is graphic 45 paper. Another printout from Pinterest. A black cat. He kind of looks like Binks if you really look at him. He does look like Binks to me. Thought he was cute. Flip outs, lots of writing space because Joanna wanted writing space. Here is a map of colonial Salem, 1692, I believe, which I distressed and kind of made to look like it was all old, and found somewhere cool. Some more spell stamps. This is fabric from Miss Monique. Thanks, Monique. It went perfect in here. Just a little fabric page. And I'm sorry if I'm rushing through this. I'm just trying to not make this video a million years long. This is just a little extra spot here to hide stuff. She wanted also some of the book to have places for her to kind of stick stuff in. And that's a beautiful stamp, little witch stamp. Here's the black flame candle that I made by hand. And this is from Tsunami Rose, her mason jars, which I love. And so I included a lot of Halloween stuff in here because the movie is basically about Halloween, in addition to the witches. So lots of Halloween stuff in here. I found this off of Pinterest, Black Cat Dance. Another clip out. And witch. And so I had to be careful about all the like ephemera and stuff that I added in here, because I know she wanted to be able to write in it, and I didn't want it to be too kind of fat and bulky. So I thought it's a happy medium. It doesn't like overflow and like kind of poof up. It, you know, you could kind of put it down and write on it. Another pocket, and in here I found a printout of an actual summons to a witch trial, and you can kind of make some of the words out, and it's really kind of scary. But what I did was I kind of burned the edges and kind of burned throughout. These are actual burn marks, because in my mind, because I'm again deranged, this was pulled out of the burning of a witch before it completely disappeared, and somebody put it somewhere and kind of held it and kept it for years and years and years, and then I found it in my head. This is from Tsunami Rose, and all the stuff from Tsunami Rose in here is from that amazing Witch's Brew kit. Here's another little charm, and it's little Tim Holtz owl face. Here is another spell, and it's the Unfaithful Lover's Curse, and it's the spell that Winifred uses to raise Billy Butcherson back from the dead. And this is from Mrs. Coggin. How perfect is that image? I just thought that was perfect. So that goes in there, nicely tucked. Another gorgeous stamp. And this is another representative of Allison. It's a little masquerade girl dressed up all pretty, which kind of reminded me of her when she opened the door. Or actually, no, when she walked down the stairs when Max and Danny go to her house to trick or treat. And so this is one of the special features in here. This is called my Eva flip. So Eva of Bohemian Crafting kind of had this tutorial, and I want to thank Priscilla from Release the Craftin', because she's the one that kind of guided me there on her last video where she did her Poe journal. But basically it's 3 separate sides, so it flips out. These are tuck spots here, all tuck spots. Here I put some ephemera from Tsunami Rose. This is a tuck spot as well. This is a tuck spot as well. And then this opens up, and in each one of the pockets I have one of the tags from the movie that I made, each one representing one of the witches and one of their famous quotes in the movie. And so that one is Sarah, and I velcroed it shut. And then up here I have, I'm trying to not knock everything down, is Winnie, and I use Wicked at top because she's the wicked one. And let's see if I can get the other one out without messing everything up. And this one is Mary. And Miss Mary says, "I smell children," all throughout the movie. And the backs are all, oh, I forgot to show you guys that. The backs are all matted and kind of embellished as well. And for Sarah, I have Spirit, because she's the free spirit in the movie. And for Winnie, I think I have Scary, because she's scary, because she smells children. And I'll put those back later. But this is my Eva flip, and I love it. And I think I'll probably do more of these in the future. Here is another paper clip with an embellished bead. And this is makeshift envelope that you can open up, and it's the I Put a Spell on You music. You can kind of journal on that. Put this here. I'm trying not to take a million years, because I do all the time. Okay. And another flip. More Tsunami Rose, and it's a little booklet. And here is a pocket. And this is another handmade ephemera, and it's a Salem bus line ticket, and it says conveying gorgeous creatures to their most forbidden desires, because that is what the bus driver tells them in that hilarious accent that I love in the movie. It's one of my favorite quotes in the movie. Here I put this little steampunk clock because throughout the whole movie they're kind of counting down the time to sunrise, because that is their last chance of being able to stay alive forever. And here I made a little Danny tag, and I used some candy wrappers, and she doesn't say this, the bullies say this to her at the first house she trick-or-treats at, and this little witch looks just like her in my opinion. I put a little Binks on there, and then I used the trick-or-treat tag. And so I want to thank Mrs. Cog too, Elizabeth Smith, because she gifted me all these charms on here, and also all the little eyelash trim on here. Tsunami Rose mason jar. Flip out. Some more sari silk. Flip. Another cute bag with some space in the back. This is another fabric page, and it's got a little, ephemera from Tsunami Rose, and that's again the Witch's Brew kit. Here is another digi from Calico Collage, and this is another flyer announcing that there's witches among the Puritans. Another flip. And a pocket. And then here we have another mason jar. And then finally the last pocket. And this is a guide to the Hocus Pocus sites and which houses and where they are and all of the above, in case Miss Joanna, you wanted to go visit Salem and kind of poke around these sites. You're more than welcome to, I'm sure. And that is the end. So I hope, Joanna, that you really do love this. I love this book. It's gonna be hard to kind of let go because it's one of my favorite movies, and I just love all the frilliness and charminess of it. And so I am gonna make a charm. I just wanted it to be a surprise, and so you'll see that when you get it. So I hoped everyone liked this flip through, and I hope to see you guys pretty soon for part 2 of my hardcover series tutorials, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.